Have you ever looked at someone and realized they stopped seeing you a long time ago? You're still there, still giving, still caring, still showing up, but they don't notice your effort anymore. It's like loving someone who's emotionally colorblind to your presence. And the truth is, nothing drains the soul faster than being in a space where you're no longer valued. We often mistake being needed for being valued, but there's a difference. Being needed means they take from you. Being valued means they see you. And when someone stops valuing you, they start treating your love like it's replaceable. Today, I want to talk about 8 ways people silently show you that they don't value you, not through dramatic arguments or loud betrayals, but through quiet patterns, subtle neglect, and emotional distance. Because truthfully, it's not the shouting that hurts. It's the silence after you've given your all. The first step to healing isn't blaming them. It's recognizing what's happening. Because when you can finally see the truth without sugarcoating it, you reclaim your power to walk away with peace instead of pain. Let's start here with the first way people show you that you no longer matter to them. It's small, it's subtle, but once you notice it, you'll never unsee it again. You can feel it, that quiet shift, when someone's presence turns into absence, even though they're sitting right in front of you. You're talking, your heart is open, your emotions are raw, but their eyes glaze over, their mind is elsewhere. They nod out of habit, not connection. That's one of the clearest signs that someone no longer values you, when your voice no longer reaches them. Listening is one of the purest forms of love. It says, you matter enough for me to pause my world and enter yours, but when they stop listening, they're telling you your world no longer matters to me. At first, you try to explain it away. They're tired, they're distracted, it's just stress. You give grace because that's who you are, but deep down, you feel it. You sense the disconnection growing like a quiet storm between you. And then when you finally start to pull back, they notice, not because they miss you, but because they miss what you gave them, attention, effort, validation. They want your energy, not your truth. It's painful to admit, but someone who values you wants to understand you. They lean in. They remember what you said last week. They notice the small things, the tone in your voice, the change in your energy, the things you didn't say out loud. When someone stops listening, it's not just about words, it's about emotional presence, because love isn't proven through grand gestures, it's proven in moments of quiet attention. So if you find yourself repeating your feelings, begging to be understood, or feeling invisible in conversation, pause. Don't raise your voice to be heard, withdraw your energy instead. Because when someone truly values you, you'll never have to fight for their attention. They'll offer it willingly. There's a certain kind of pain that doesn't come from rejection. It comes from realization. The realization that some people only appear in your life when there's something in it for them. When they need comfort, advice, validation, or support, you're their first call. But when you need the same silence, always silence, that's the second way people show they don't value you. When their presence depends on convenience, not care. You start to notice it in patterns. They text you when they're lonely, they call when they're in crisis, they appear when they're struggling, and vanish the moment you find your footing. Their loyalty is transactional, their love conditional. At first, you excuse it. You tell yourself they have their own struggles, but deep down, you know, if someone only reaches for you when they're not reaching for you, they're reaching for what you give. And the hardest part, you keep giving because you have a good heart, because you remember the moments they did show up, because you hope maybe this time will be different, but it rarely is. Let me tell you something important. People who truly value you don't disappear when things get inconvenient. They don't measure your worth by what you can do for them. They stay because your presence, your energy, your existence means something deeper than utility. Healthy connections are mutual, not in a scorekeeping way, but in a soulful way. Both people pour in, both people receive. There's balance, reciprocity, and effort, not just during storms, but in the stillness too. So the next time someone only comes around when they need you, remember this, you are not an emotional pit stop. You are not a temporary shelter for people who vanish once they're warm again. You deserve people who show up, not just when it's easy, but when it matters most. You know that sting when you open up about something that hurt you, and instead of empathy, you get dismissal. They sigh, roll their eyes, or say things like, you're too sensitive. You always make a big deal out of nothing. Those words are small, but they cut deep. Because they don't just invalidate what you feel, they make you question if you even have the right to feel it. That's the third way people show they don't value you. They minimize your emotions to make theirs feel bigger. And here's the truth, emotional dismissal is one of the quietest forms of disrespect. When someone repeatedly tells you that your feelings are too much, what they're really saying is, your truth makes me uncomfortable. Instead of meeting you with compassion, they protect their comfort by invalidating your pain. At first, you internalize it. You start second-guessing yourself. You silence your truth because you don't want to be dramatic. You laugh off your hurt to keep the peace. You train yourself to feel less, just to stay connected. But that's not connection. That's emotional self-abandonment. People who truly value you won't make you shrink just to be loved. They won't shame you for feeling deeply. They won't weaponize your vulnerability. They'll make space for your emotions even when they don't understand them, because real love isn't about agreement. It's about respect. If someone consistently belittles what you feel, it's not your job to toughen up. It's their responsibility to grow up. You deserve to be in spaces where your emotions are safe, not judged. So the next time someone calls you too sensitive, remember this sensitivity is not a weakness, it's awareness. And awareness is what makes you human. Never apologize for having a heart that feels. The right people won't call it too much. They'll call it home. You can feel it, that quiet ache, when your effort goes unnoticed. When you keep showing up, giving, caring, remembering the little things, and it all slips past them like it never mattered. They don't say thank you. They don't acknowledge your consistency. They act like your presence is a guarantee instead of a gift. That's the fourth way people show they don't value you. They start to treat your effort expected, not appreciated. It's subtle at first. You cook for them, help them, support them, and they barely look up. You go out of your way to make something special, and they respond with indifference. You start to wonder, do they even notice? And then the harsh truth lands. Maybe they do notice. They've just stopped caring. When people stop valuing you, gratitude disappears. They get comfortable with your kindness, and comfort turns into entitlement. What used to warm them now becomes their norm. What once felt like love now feels like labor. But here's what they forget. You're not obligated to keep giving in a one-sided connection. Appreciation isn't optional in healthy relationships. It's the heartbeat that keeps love alive. People who value you will see your effort. They'll acknowledge it not because they have to, but because they genuinely care. They'll say, I noticed what you did. Thank you for being you. They won't wait until you stop showing up to realize your worth.